Okay. Go ahead.
Namaskar. My name is Mahajoti, and I will be your yoga hostess for this class this morning. So we're going to begin with standing on your space and anchoring your feet into the earth, lengthening the whole body mind upwards. And as you are creating your mountain, I'm going to tell you a little bit about Anandamurti's therapeutic asana practice. So these asanas, Baba referred to them as helping friends, helping items to help us move towards that goal of self-realization. And the way the asanas do that is by recalibrating all of our vrittis, and those are all our worries, all of our gifts, and directing them towards the Supreme. And so the asana practice is very effective in doing this, and the acharyas can help you design your asana practice with that goal in mind. So as we're building and reconstructing our mountains, coming up and anchoring those feet, having that foot to ground relationship with Mother Earth. We're going to raise those hands up, and we're going to revisit a version of Padahast Asana. Inhaling and coming up, and we're creating this I Ching symbol, the darkness and the light, and curving to the side. So in the asana practice, we have an inhale, an exhale, and then once all the air is out, there's a pause for 8 seconds. Unfurling those wings, and then we're going to exhale in the other direction, creating that I Ching symbol once again, exhaling all the air. Baba Namo Ke Wala. Inhaling those arms back up, bringing the wings over the head, and then we're going to swan dive down. Coming down, and we can wrap these first 2 fingers around the big toes and hug it with our thumbs, exhaling all the air. Baba Namo Ke Wala. Inhaling those wings up, coming all the way up, and exhaling. We inhale, we go into a gentle back bend, so we're pulling our chin into the throat, inhaling and pausing the breath. With the inhale breath in, coming up to center and exhaling. And here we're going to whirl our wings around. So coming down and around, coming down and behind the back, sweeping up and coming back into Namaskar Mudra. Breathing in, breathing out. So once again, placing the arms in that I Ching format, creating that symbol, inhaling and exhaling. Pausing the breath. Inhaling, bringing the wings up, exhaling. Coming into our I Ching pattern once again. Inhaling back up. Swan diving down, so long wings, long back. Bringing those fingers around those big toes and squeezing that brain meridian. Exhaling the air and pausing the breath. Inhaling and rising up. As we rise up, we exhale once again. So Padahas is a moving pose, so we can imagine that we're shaking off all the dust particles, all that negative microbiota from our body as we're doing Padahas. Inhaling into a gentle back bend, pulling the chin in, pausing the breath on the inhale. Exhaling to center, and here's where we're going to whirl those wings around. Try not to contact any furniture. Come all the way down, swinging the arms down, and back up, and back to the heart. Closing the eyes for a moment. Remembering who lives in your heart, who resides in your heart, who is with you always. Pausing for a moment to imagine that you are standing in the palms of Baba's hands and that he is watching you and he is smiling at you and he's giving you this gift of yoga to help you as a guide on the spiritual path. Guiding our way. So once again, we'll lift the arms up over the head, exhale and swan dive down. And as we come down, we're going to put the hands in the folds of the arms, and we're going to glide from side to side. So feet are hip width apart. Gliding. And connecting this movement with the breath. So as we glide to one side, we inhale. When we glide to the other side, we exhale. As we're standing on the palms of Baba's hands and feeling the greatest love. So then we're going to add one more piece to this. We're going to turn around to the ankle. Really getting into those lower back muscles. Remember that dance of the movement of the breath. Inhaling in one direction, exhaling in the other. And then we're going to release the hands to the floor, soaking up all of that earth energy. And then we're actually going to bring our fist into the floor as we bring one knee down and then the other knee. So we're coming into a seated position on Baba's palms. And while we're here, we're going to do a little bit of a twist. So we're orbiting around the body with the hands on the knees, the legs crossed. Forward folding in front and rolling to the side. And then we're going to hold on to the knees as we roll to the back. Over to the side again. And in front. So feeling all of those muscles that are being engaged in this orbit. And as we come to the front, changing directions and going the other side, the other way. Orbiting around our body planets. These little orbs of light that we inhabit. And Baba's still smiling. It's important to devotionalize your yoga practice, and one of the ways we do that is by making Baba a very real presence in the asana practice. So we're going to move from orbiting to the twist and then eventually to Janushirasana. So Janushirasana, we have one leg straight, as you remember. Oops, scoot back a little bit. And one leg is bent. And so we're going to be forward folding over this leg. But first, we're also going to bend this leg a little bit with the heel showing. And so the toes are up. So getting into a position where we're twisting the torso towards this leg, inhaling those wings up, lengthening the torso, and then exhaling, coming down. And with the knee bent, you should be able to grab the foot. Exhaling the breath. Bhavanam. Okay, pausing the breath, remembering his name. Inhaling and smiling up. Lengthening our, it's more like a foothill of the mountains right now. Turning that torso towards the leg again. Exhaling, coming down. And I like to remember in Janushirasana, I'm returning to my spiritual home of hope. Exhaling, pausing the breath. Inhaling and rising up. So we'll do this 3 times on this side. Exhaling, coming home to our home of hope. Pausing the breath. Inhaling and rising up. So with the wings up, we're going to do this with our feet. Stretching out the other leg, and I'm also going to pop this knee a little bit. So getting it all set up for that forward fold in Janushirasana. And this asana helps to build hope. So it hits that heart rhythm in just the right place. Inhaling and lengthening. Exhaling. Grabbing that foot. Pausing the breath. Inhaling, rising up. Imagining again, maintaining that imagery of doing asanas on the palm of Baba's hands. Exhaling, coming down. Welcoming that nurturing of hope. So the neck is nice and long. The nose may come to the knee or may not. Pausing. Inhaling, rising up, flying up one more time. So every time we do asanas, we're coming closer to Baba. Turning towards that almost straight leg, exhaling, and swan diving down again. Inhaling and coming up. And then we'll cross the legs, bringing the hands to rest on those knees. And just closing the eyes for a moment and absorbing that pose, which if it's in your regular practice, you'll want to do it 8 times to get the full benefits of this pose. Then we'll move from Janushirasana, forward fold, into Dirga Pranam, which is one of the women's asanas. So we can do this, we can perform this asana either in the high kneel, like this, or the low kneel on the heels. And I'll probably do both poses, but you can choose whichever expression is the most ideal for your body today. So with Dirga Pranam, and this is the pose of which women are in when they greet their spiritual master. bringing the hands to the heart. Inhaling those hands over the head. And then we're going to do that Qigong symbol or yin-yang symbol again. Bringing the one arm down, having one arm up. So we're creating that lightness and darkness that we have in life. Exhaling and coming down. Engaging those abdominals. And as we come down to the earth, we're extending our hand forward with all of our troubles, which we're releasing to the Supreme. Exhaling and pausing the breath. Inhaling and rising up. Exhaling as we shine all the way down. Bringing the hands together at the heart again, at the Anahat. Taking both hands up. And this time the other arm will stay up. And one arm will be behind the back. And we'll exhale down. So this time, our visualization is we're releasing all of our gifts to the Supreme. Pausing the breath. Inhaling, coming up. So when we come up, we engage those abs. And shining all the way down. Allowing that heart chakra to just shine in our being. So this time we'll do both hands. Sending both hands up. Exhaling, coming down. Imagining that you're placing all your worries, all your gifts, and scooting the hands a little bit away from the body, but not the full distance. Leaving them at the feet of the divine. And then bringing the hands close to the head and pushing into the earth and coming up. So the arms are coming right up with the head. So the arms are right on either side of the head, either side of the ears. We're not just coming up and dragging them up. So they're always following the ears and coming up. So we're shining as we come down. And we'll do this a few more times. Inhaling one arm up, one arm behind, creating that darkness and light as we exhale down. Using those abs. Pausing the breath. Remembering the inner bhava. And then again, we can slide that hand towards the head, push off, but the arm comes right next to the head as it's coming up. And then shining, that means engaging the smile mudra. Pretending that we're smiling and happy, even if it may not be in your heart. So then we'll come up with the other arm, slide the other leftover arm behind the body as we exhale down to leave our bundle at the feet of the Supreme once again. Inhaling and rising up. Shining the heart. Coming together for a sixth time. Usually you would practice this 8. And then again, coming down. Offering all those rittis to the divine. Inhaling back up. And as we inhale back up, the arms came up right next with the ears. And then we bring these wings down, shining the heart the whole time. So we're going to do this one more transition because we're going to transition to Cobra. And I'm sure that many of you do this where you come down and slide right into Cobra pose. So coming onto the belly, bringing the hands for a moment underneath the forehead. And just taking a moment to rest navel to navel with the earth. So being one with the divine at this point. And then we're going to bring the hands near the ears, preparing to rise up into Cobra. So we're going to do flying Cobra. So as we rise up with the chest a little bit, so it's just a little rise, we're lifting the hands so that they're kind of like cactus hands by our sides, but hovering over the earth. Flying Cobra. Holding the breath on the inhale. Babanamo, Kebalamo. And then exhaling slowly, slowly coming back down. So when I'm doing Cobra pose, I like to imagine that I'm embodying the spirit of that Kula Kundalini, that divine force within. So we're going to do that this time. Inhaling the arms, inhaling and coming up, embracing that spirit of the Kula Kundalini, having that determination of a cobra to awaken that divine spiritual force, and then escalating down. Bringing the nose and the forehead into the mat, into the palm of Baba's hands. And this time, as we inhale up with the arms, we're going to slide the arms a little ahead in Sphinx, an ancient statue in Egypt. Looking straight ahead, and then at one point looking up at the ceiling, inhaling, holding that inhale breath. Exhaling, leveling the head, and escalating down. So as we come down, we lift the arms and bring them next to the ears. Taking a complete yogic breath. So this time you can try the expression of cobra that you enjoy the most. I always try to get folks to do a little bit of the hand work, even though the wrists are having a little bit of challenge, but doing it at least once. Because this is a arm weight-bearing pose. Inhaling, looking up at the ceiling. Nam, okay, long. Leveling the head, exhaling and coming down. Bringing that Kula Kundalini down. And bringing the hands underneath the forehead for a minute while we do a yogic breath or two. So while we are here, we're going to bend that left knee and we're going to pump it 3 times, trying to get those quads and muscles ready for Dhanurasana, boat pose. And then we're going to extend our right arm forward. along the Baba's palm. And then when you're ready, we're going to bend that left knee and swim the left hand around to make contact with that foot and raise the other limbs. Holding that inhale breath for 8 seconds. And exhaling, both hands down underneath the forehead. So Baba frequently refers to Karma Purusha as our ship that carries us along the waters of life. And so during boat pose, I like to pretend that I am one with Karma Purusha. So then we're going to pump that other leg, the right leg, 3 or 4 times. And then we're going to raise the left arm over our head on the floor, up ahead of us. And then swim that right arm around, bending the right knee, placing the hand into that leg, connecting it someplace. But if your hand doesn't make that connection, just allow the palm to hover over the earth. So we can just hover in the air. And then we're going to raise all the other limbs. Imagining that we are one with the ship, we are one with Karma Purusha. Inhaling and pausing the breath. And exhaling and bringing both hands underneath the forehead. So in the older days, like a couple hundred years ago, they would have these, mostly women, carved into the head of the ship. And she would guide them in choppy waters. And so I like to imagine that that's me and Karma Purusha is my ship. It's written on the side of it. So we're going to try Dhanurasana one more time. This time we'll pump both legs and swim both arms around. And they will either come in contact with your feet or you can hover them palms down over the earth or over the lake, as the case may be. Inhaling. And then exhaling and bring the hands underneath the forehead. Breathing in, breathing out. We're only performing these poses a few times in this asana class. And we're going to do that last full Dhanurasana one more time. So inhaling, pumping the legs, bending the knees, and then swimming both arms around. And if you cannot reach your legs, just hover them over the lip. Be one with the Supreme Father, being one with Karma Purusha. And then lowering the legs, bringing the hands to rest underneath the forehead. Breathing in, breathing out. Navigating those bumps in the road with serenity, with the guidance and support of Parma Purusha. So then we're going to take one arm, stretch it in front of us, and with the leftover hand, we're going to push the body over, which is going to cause us to come off the mats. So then we'll scooch back on. Ancient Sanskrit word, scooch. Scooch our bodies onto the wall, or onto the mat, sorry, and then we're going to stretch the legs out straight. Breathing in, the divine, breathing out, the divine, remembering that that Supreme Father is always with us. We are never alone. And really trying to feel that in the heart, feeling that presence. Even just a little spark. So since we've done a few back bends, we're going to do Asana. So bending that right knee, bringing it up towards the chest, and then I'm going to embrace that knee and pull it into my chest, massaging all those internal organs. You can feel it going out the back. Exhaling and pausing the breath with ideation. And then we'll release that leg and send it back. Inhaling the other knee into the chest. Embracing it with your fingers. So your fingers can be on top of the knee, but if that's uncomfortable for some reason, go underneath and pull that leg into the thoracic cavity. Pausing the breath. Remembering the divine. So in this asana, I like to imagine that I'm removing, so we're sending that leg back to the mat. I'm removing all physical obstacles and the other obstacles in my physical or spiritual well-being. Then we're bringing both knees up into the chest. Breathing in and then breathing out and slipping in a little ideation. Clearing the traffic jams. Enabling us to move forward with clarity. And then exhaling the arms to the floor, exhaling the legs to the floor. Breathing in, breathing out. And then one more time, we'll bring both knees up into the chest, squeezing them into our organs, into the back. And we're going to roll a little bit from side to side while we're doing this. So massaging the back, going from one hip to the other if you can. If it's hard to get that motion in this pose, you can send the feet to the ceiling, the arms in the center of the knees and wrapped around. And here we are in Happy Baby. So this is when we put on our smile mudra. Bring these legs back to the ground, actually bending the knees. We're going to turn to one side, doesn't matter which side, and come up into a seated position. For yoga massage. So charging our hands up with hope. Actually sending that hope into the hands. And we're going to place these hands over our eyes. So we're sending that message of hope, that promise of hope, into the brain, into every cell in our being. And then we're going to go through the scalp so that we send hope to all the roots of our scalp. Across the forehead and the eyebrows, under the eye. And around the ears.
I'm recording on Zoom.
I think I need somebody to be muted, whoever is helping me with this. Across the cheeks, across the nose, mustache. Thank you, mystery person. Up from the chin and up. So taking the thumbs underneath the jaw. And I like to cross the hands when I go up the neck. So I'm taking my hands all the way to below my ears, around the neck. So not just the front. And then cross the hands as we come around the back of the neck. A lot of tension back there. And you can even go into the shoulders a little bit. So those lymph nodes come down the sternum like this, and I like to kind of massage the heart, massage those lymph rivers that are coming down, and they're going right under the armpit. So let's massage this track that goes down underneath the armpit. And down the arm. And around those joints. God bless the joints. And down to the hands and unscrewing each finger. It's good for the finger joints and cuticles. And then coming around to the other side. And so we're going to follow this river of lymph that goes down right here, across to the armpit. And then down the shoulder, down around the elbow, down the arm, down the hand, and unscrewing each finger. Rubbing our palms again as we place them over the heart. Receiving that hope from the heart. That's where it resides. Coming out from the chest, down the sides. We're going to take the arms and have one arm coming down, one arm from the side coming up. And slicing up and down the back a little bit. So the yoga massage is a real light, kind of a neuro-lymphatic massage. Coming in and massaging those organs again, which we really massaged in Bhujangasana and Dhanurats. And then we're going to hold our hands on the sides and press into those organs. And exhale and forward fold. Inhaling and coming up. And then we're going to do this again. Squeezing in to the spine, exhaling. rising like breath. And then we'll do this one more time. Exhaling and forward, folding. And then coming up. So then we're going to go into the crease of our hips. So sending one leg out to the side. Hitting that necklace of lymph nodes that encircles the hips and protects the lower half of the body. And then circling that leg, coming down the knee, down the lower part of the leg. Hitting those, so you're hitting each of your joints. Taking a fist with the wrist and coming down the foot. Raking the bottom of that foot. And with both hands kind of going in between each toe. Seeing if there's any dust bunnies in there. And stretching out and maybe unscrewing each toe. And then massaging the bottom of that foot with the clap. Coming to the other leg, coming into the crease, and really kind of digging into that crease of lymph nodes that resides there. And then coming down the leg. So I'm encircling the whole leg with my hands. I'm getting on top and underneath the knee, and coming down the lower leg. I'm going to swing this ankle up and massage the ankle, making a fist with the wrist and coming down this foot. And then we're going to go in between the toes here, just doing a little brief inspection and squeezing each toe. Making sure they're all there and accounted for. And clapping this foot up. So then we'll come down to the floor for Shavasana. So everyone can lay down while I get my guitar. While we're coming into Shavasana, which of course is a meditative pose. And as we lie here on Mother Earth, we are finding ourselves melting into her more deeply with each breath. Being beyond the walls of this building, of nestling in the lap of Mother Earth, in nature, in a safe place. So with each exhale breath, we are releasing ourselves more freely, more deeply into this nest of nature. Physically, we're relaxing the muscles. Mentally, we're relaxing our emotions and our feelings. And spiritually and psychically, we're relaxing those layers of the mind. Breathing in, breathing out. Breathing in, breathing out. So in this picture that we're going to paint inside our minds, we see the trees, we see plants that you would see in a forest, on the plains, we see animals. And as we look over the vastness of this earth, we see all the created beings painted in beauty and in lovely fragrances. The moon is hanging in the darkness, receiving that light from the sun, and the moon sends it to you. Its precious moonbeams. And in that moonlight, you see the buds of the flowers are opening. The birds are singing a captivating melody. You see someone crying. And as they hear the sound of a distant flute playing, they stop crying. The harps of all minds are vibrating with the same tune. All hearts are filled by the same fragrance. The light of the supreme greatness is touching the hearts of every created being. Breathing in and breathing out. You watch as the path becomes a little darker. And you worry about this darkness on your path. But in the distance, you see a traveler playing a flute while walking along your path. The traveler is like the light of a distant beacon. There is this feeling of warmth that begins to fill your heart. There is something familiar about this shining traveler walking in the darkness. When the traveler's flute song is heard, all of the beings of nature seem to dance. The tree is swaying in the sun. The moon is shining, dancing in the night sky. The birds are still singing. The flower buds are still opening and continue to open. Invite this divine traveler to come closer. Come closer. Sit by my side. Sit near me, my constant companion. Sit near me and let me dance too. Breathing in, breathing out. Having your divine traveler, imagine that that traveler is sitting next to you. So now you are lying in the palms of the beloved, who is always with you and who never leaves your side. May you be filled with that song of the divine. Thank you so much for coming and sharing your yoga together with our community today. Namaskar. Have a sweet day.